यस्य निश्वसितं वेदा यो वेदेभ्योऽखिलं जगत् निर्ममेत्तमहं वन्दे विद्यातीर्थमहेश्वरम् यस्याः प्रभावमतुलं भगवानन्तो ब्रह्माहरश्च नहि वक्तुमलं बलं च सा चण्डिकाखिलजगत्परिपालनाय नाशाय चाशुभभयस्य मतिं करोतु। ऐङ्काररीङ्काररहस्ययुक्तो श्रीङ्कारगूढार्थमहाविभूत्या ओङ्कारमर्मप्रतिपादनीभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी शस्यशालिनी लोकोऽयं क्षोभरहितः सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। In the context of our programs to create heaven on earth, we have been focusing on the need for a new system of education, because life is lived on the basis of how one has been educated. It's very obvious. If one is educated as an engineer or a doctor or a teacher, life and living of life depends upon how one has been educated. Professional education is one thing, and education to handle all aspects of life, education to live complete value of life, not only professional value of life, but all aspects of daily life, all aspects of weekly life, all aspects of monthly and yearly life, all aspects of life in different ages. Because there are so many phases to life, and each phase has a specific value in the infinite diversity of life. And one's own life depends upon what one is inside and also what influence one has radiated outside himself. So there are so many phases of life. The education has to be to develop the ability to handle all aspects of life most efficiently, so that in no area of daily living one would face problems or suffering. All suffering results from violation of natural law. All problems have their basis in mistakes in life. If one is not educated to not make mistakes, then one would always make mistakes, and mistakes inevitably would invite punishment, that is suffering. So one thing, when we are designing the education worthy of heaven on earth, then the basis of that education should be the ability to spontaneously handle all areas of life in perfect alliance with natural law. Because alliance with natural law would always maintain life in the evolutionary direction. Every area of life will evolve, will progress, will find increasing fulfillment. Progress means increasing fulfillment. Fulfillment more and more at every step. This is what evolution means. So life has to be lived in perfect accord with natural law, so that every aspect of life is lived most efficiently. That means without mistakes, without violation of natural law, and therefore without problems and suffering. If education handles only profession, then other aspects of life out of profession will be not adequately handled. So education has to be for developing the ability to be professional in every area of life, professional. That means 24 hours, very expert in handling everything. There is daylight in the sun, there is moonlight in the night, there is all darkness in the night, all the infinite number of situations one has to go through every day. That means one is taken through different sets of laws of nature to conduct life in different values, and all values to be simultaneously evolutionary. All values, so many values have to be handled with efficiency and effectiveness. Effectiveness of handling means nothing goes wrong for natural law. No aspect of life damages natural law. So if we can handle the total potential of natural law and maintain liveliness of the total potential of natural law in our awareness in a very natural way and always, then every aspect of life at any time will always be supported by natural law. So when we want to create heaven on earth, when we want to create an ideal system of education, then fundamentally what is required is the ability to maintain liveliness of the total potential of natural law in our awareness, in our consciousness, so that spontaneously whatever thought comes supported by natural law. Whatever steps of progress the thought takes towards fulfillment, at each step whatever laws of nature are required to maintain this step and make it progress, all the laws are spontaneously computed in the process of the growth of thought and action. So ability to compute all the laws of nature necessary for the progression of a thought alone can give the ability to not make mistake in any area of life. How to go about it and how to do it? There is an element in the field of consciousness. There is a characteristic of consciousness or intelligence that is called pure knowledge. Pure knowledge means knower, knowing and known, these three values in their togetherness. Unified state of the knower, knowing and known, that is the structure of pure knowledge. So the structure of consciousness or awareness is in terms of pure knowledge. See, the other day we dwelt with the Mahalakshmi aspect of consciousness. Today we seem to be on the channel of Maha Saraswati. Saraswati is the embodiment, the lively structure of pure knowledge. And pure knowledge means all about the knower, all about the object of knowledge, and all about the process of knowing. So it's the field of pure knowledge, it's the field of total knowledge, it's the field of total potential of natural law, it's the field where all the mechanics of all the laws of nature are in their togetherness. All the mechanics of all the laws of nature are in one structure of pure knowledge, which is the reality of, the ultimate reality of pure knowledge, which we say knowingness. Pure knowingness, pure intelligence, ocean of pure intelligence. Ocean of pure intelligence is what is meant by Saraswati. Swa, the self, unbounded pure structure of knowingness, self-referral state of pure intelligence. One unbounded ocean of consciousness. Sar is a lake. Saraswati. Now we are counting on the name. In all Vedic words, the meaning of the word is inherent in the word. So what we have is Saraswati, Sar and Swa and Ti, Ta-I. Sar, Swa, Ta-I. Sar is Sarovar. Sarovar is a big lake, a lake. Lake of what? Swa. Sar, Swa, Tai, Saraswati. So the Sar is a lake, unbounded pool of water. Unbounded pool of water, Sar. Swa is the self, the Atman, transcendental consciousness, unbounded awareness, pure knowingness, wholeness, fully awake within itself. That wholeness, fully awake within itself, is the one singularity, the eternal basis of all diversity. So the unified field of all the laws of nature, unified field of all the laws of nature, the common source of all the laws of nature, that silent level of pure wakefulness from where all the different laws of nature emerge and conduct their activity in the whole universe. So that Saraswati, that ocean of the self, pure field of wholeness, we say spirituality, pure field of spirituality, knowingness, wholeness, singularity, oneness, fully awake within itself, ocean of the self, one unbounded ocean of consciousness. Ta-E. Ta means that. And E stands for dynamism. That ocean of consciousness, ocean of the self, one unbounded ocean of the self. Ta, that is E. E stands for dynamism. That is dynamic. That infinite, eternal, immortal dynamism of pure knowingness or pure intelligence, pure singularity, pure self-referral value of the ultimate reality, self-referral, where the subject itself is its object. The knower is the known, one unbounded ocean of consciousness. This is the nature of Saraswati. This is the nature of Saraswati. Saraswati is structured in pure knowingness. Pure knowingness, absolute alertness, all knowingness, one unbounded ocean of knowledge, pure knowledge, the Veda. And its value is dynamic, Ta-E, that is dynamic. This is just the nature of self-referral pure consciousness. So self-referral pure consciousness is Saraswati in the terminology of the Veda. And this terminology of the Veda means it defines its quality, what it is, what its quality, what its self-referral value, and what its object referral value. Because if it's unity and dynamism, then it is unity and diversity, both together. This is Saraswati. Complete knowledge. It's on the basis of knowledge that either one is in heaven or one is on earth. Heaven means all good everywhere. Earth means a mixture of this and this and this. Some good, some non-good. It's a complex. So we want that level of life on earth which is characterized by all good everywhere, at all times. That is the level of lively Saraswati. Lively Saraswati in the individual consciousness and lively Saraswati in the collective consciousness. So that nothing negative could come to the individual from the collective consciousness. Nothing negative could radiate from the individual into the collective consciousness. So both give and take from individual to society will always be in terms of pure knowledge. And pure knowledge is infinite organizing power. When we say infinite organizing power, what we mean is the custodian of power and the power and the target of the power. It's just the same thing as the observer, process of observation, and the observed. So the custodian of power, the mechanics of projection of the power from the custodian and the target of the power. This is infinite organizing power. Infinite organizing power, one in threes, one value, Sanhita value, unified value, self, in terms of its dynamism. And dynamism means potential of all diversity. So when we have this quality of consciousness, then we say consciousness is lively in the quality of Saraswati. Pure knowledge. But pure knowledge, where the knower and knowing and known, all three are lively. And the relationship of the knower and known and the process of knowing, the relationship of these three amongst themselves is so profound and so perfect and so balanced and so integrated that they are together one at all times. Even when they appear to be many, they are one. This is the nature of Saraswati, in which the organizing power is lively. Ta'i, Saraswati, Ta'i. This word Saraswati is a very precious word which, when lively in human consciousness, it is absolute intelligence in its full wakefulness, fully lively, absolute intelligence, fully lively. It is in par with that quality which the other day we discussed in terms of Mahalakshmi. All wealth, ever growing wealth, in this case, all knowledge, ever growing knowledge, and knowledge as such has organizing power. Knowledge has organizing power. Jnana has Kriya Shakti in it. This is in terms of the Vedic terminology. In the scientific terminology, there is a theory between mathematics and physics, theory of measurement. The theory of measurement states knowledge is organizing power. Organizing power is the innate characteristic of knowledge. And this thing in Vedic terms is Jnana Shakti, is Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti is Kriya Shakti. So this Jnana Shakti, in which is fully awake Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti, pure knowledge. Kriya Shakti, organizing power. So pure knowledge, self-referral, awareness, the state of Ved, the state of Ved, the state of pure knowledge, where knower, knowing and known are all in one grand singularity, eternal singularity, the self, Atma. But that is fully awake in its infinite organizing power. So when we want heaven to be lived in daily life on earth, it will be on the basis of liveliness, a continuum of liveliness of Saraswati in our awareness, a continuum of liveliness of the Sanjita in our awareness. That means integrated, pure wakefulness in our own awareness. This Saraswati dominating education, Saraswati dominating education, pure knowledge with its infinite organizing power has to be the basis or the goal of education. And with this kind of training to the mind, all the laws of nature will always be supportive to one's desire, to one's thought. That's how we will design or define an educated man who would be a blessing to his environment, who will be nourishing to his surroundings, at the same time will be free from mistakes. The environmental values always supporting him, he always radiating supportive, enriching influence in his environment. So this natural quality has to be awakened in every student of education worthy of the name of education of heaven on earth. In this, from the modern scientific perspective, what we have is the quality of knowledge in its completeness and in its comprehensive character. Comprehensive character, by comprehensive character what we mean is that it has all the dignity of silence and it has all the glamour of diversity. Silence and diversity, self-sustained, self-referral, eternally self-sufficient and completely capable of doing everything by will, at will. So that spontaneous sprouting of a thought which will always be supported by all the laws of nature has to be developed in the individual. That means Saraswati has to be enlivened, Mahalakshmi has to be enlivened, Durga has to be enlivened. That is the enlivenment of Durga, where infinite dynamism, Ta-I, Saraswati, that is E, that is dynamism, that is Durga, the custodian of all possibilities, the custodian of all power. So just as in considering Mahalakshmi, we found the Maha Saraswati, Maha Durga ingrained in the nature of Mahalakshmi, so also here we find in the nature of Saraswati we have the lively potential of Durga and we have the lively potential of evolution. Because when it is the Sar of Swa, is the unbounded ocean, unbounded lake of self, then it is completely self-sufficient and always dynamic, full of ripples flowing this way, and this is the melody of nature. This is the element of fulfillment which is all the time swinging in its own infinite impulses of dynamism. That means its expressed delight, its expressed bliss, its expressed prosperity, progress, that's Mahalakshmi. So Saraswati, Durga, Mahalakshmi. Today we are emphasizing on the simplicity which can maintain liveliness of Saraswati in everyone's awareness. It is lively in everyone's self-referral consciousness, because Saraswati is the ocean of self, is the ocean of self. Every wave of Saraswati, that means every branch of knowledge, is the expression of Saraswati. No matter what language, is the knowledge. Every aspect of knowledge flowing through any language is the spontaneous melody of Saraswati in complete self-referral melody. Saraswati is the basis of all sequential, spontaneously growing steps of evolution in all directions. Everything in the universe is growing, developing, but well founded in its perfect order in the theme of steps of evolution. This is Saraswati. By virtue of Saraswati, one is always right, spontaneously harnessing the total potential of natural law and doing what one wants to do. So this element of Saraswati in education is vital if we have to live heaven on earth. Anything less than Saraswati is ignorance. In any aspect, anything less than what we call knowledge is ignorance. And when we are talking, something nice comes, and when we are talking of pure wakefulness in the nature of Saraswati, pure wakefulness, then suddenly we find ourselves in a very horrible state, I would say. You know, what is considered to be life? Waking state, dreaming state, sleep state. One is awake, one is dreaming, one is sleeping, and then one is awake, one is dreaming, one is sleeping, and then one is awake. So the cycle of waking, dreaming, and sleeping is all considered to be life. But for the sake of life, we should know this is not life. Waking, dreaming, and sleeping states, what they are? They are covering. They are covering to life. Here is a group of flowers, and you cover it. Now you don't see the flower. So waking state of consciousness, and after that comes dreaming state of consciousness, and after that the deep sleep state of consciousness. These three states of consciousness, they are covering to consciousness. They cover consciousness. Real is that which is covered by the waking, covered by the dreaming, covered by the sleeping states of consciousness, which is a continuum. There is a continuum of pure knowingness, the self-referral state. It's called the fourth state of consciousness. Fourth state, Turiya state of consciousness. That Turiya state of consciousness is really real. Real means that which never can go away. It is Sat. Sat means never altering, never disappearing, always maintaining itself. So that Sat value, that fourth state of consciousness, which is covered by the waking, by the covering of something. Consciousness can only be covered by something which is not consciousness. So when we find Turiya is pure wakefulness, all the time fully awake within itself, pure knowingness, no interference of anything. It's a continuum of wakefulness, continuum of knowingness. It's a continuum of pure wakefulness. This continuum of wakefulness is covered by waking state or dreaming state or sleeping states. So the intellectual picture of the waking state is that it is non-consciousness. The picture is horrible, but that's what it is. It's non-consciousness. Only non-consciousness can cover non-consciousness. So this non-consciousness of one type, waking state of consciousness. Another type, another quality, dreaming state of consciousness. Another quality, deep sleep state of consciousness. So these three, which in their cyclic motion are called daily living. They are called consciousness. They are called, but they are not consciousness. Consciousness is transcendental consciousness, which is a continuum. Transcendental consciousness, hidden by the waking, dreaming and sleeping states, it just supports the waking, dreaming and sleeping states. It's not state of consciousness. It's non-consciousness. It's not knowledge. It's ignorance. It's ignorance. It's ignorance. So this horrible state of daily living has usurped what is called life. Life in reality is structured in knowledge. Knowledge is structured in pure knowingness, the self. The self. That is the reason why waking, dreaming and sleeping states come and go. Self remains hidden. Self remains hidden. And what is lived is non-self, waking, dreaming and sleeping. Non-consciousness. The real sense is gone, non-sense is being lived. That is the picture of daily living in the state of ignorance, and now we want life in heaven, lived in the state of enlightenment, lived in the state of knowledge, pure knowingness and knowledge. So Saraswati has to be uncovered. It has been mistakenly covered by ignorance. Waking, dreaming, sleeping states are the coverings of ignorance, different kinds of ignorance. Some waking kind, some dreaming kind, some sleeping kind. There are three kinds, three colors of hiding values, three colors of ignorance to undermine or to subdue or to make disappear what is pure life, unbounded ocean of consciousness, that is unbounded, eternal, immortal state of life. That has to be lived in the cycles of day and night, and weekly cycles, monthly cycles, yearly cycles, 12 yearly cycles, yugas, sattva, this Satyug, Kalyug, Dwapar, Treta, all the yugas, been huge cycles. So Saraswati is the one unbounded ocean of consciousness in pure wakefulness, and that is the state of enlightenment, which will be the common experience in heaven on earth. So we want to give that living value in what is pure life. Everyone fully enlightened and capable of accomplishing anything through the mere desiring. This is the kind of education which will develop the ability to spontaneously compute all the laws of nature to work for us. This is technique of living life, technique of living total potential of life. It's a technique of living. So it's the skill of daily living in the light of Saraswati, Lakshmi, Durga, that has to be made available, and that is completely simple and easy through two values. One, the awakening of pure awareness. This is transcendental consciousness. This is on the experiential value. This is on the level of the self, that the self wakes up in its full glory, this full, unbounded, one unbounded ocean of pure intelligence, the self. And the other on the intellectual level through Vedic literature. All the Vedic literature is there, no? The Veda is there, all the three Vedas, there are four Vedas are there, Vedangas, Upangas, Upavedas. All the whole Vedic literature is there in order to intellectually enlivening the total potential of natural law on the daily living level. It's through the intellect that the natural law becomes a lively, living reality of daily life on the ground of the self. So the glory of Maha Saraswati is the glory of life eternal, immortal, bliss 24 hours, the life of Satchidananda. And it is in this structure of pure knowledge, transcendental level, that is the source of creation. Lord Krishna specifically says in Bhagavad Gita how the creation comes about. He says, Prakritim swam avashtabhya. Prakritim swam avashtabhya. Prakratim Swam, in my own nature. I come to my own nature. Coming to my own nature. Visrijami puna puna. I create again and again. Coming to my own nature. Coming to my own nature. I create again and again. So this reality of enlivening the mechanics of creation in the self-referral state of consciousness is a very beautiful picture. The picture is very clear. Where is the source of creativity? It is in the self-referral state of consciousness, which is eternally silent but naturally dynamic. Eternally silent and naturally dynamic state of pure intelligence, the field of Saraswati. It is in this that all possibilities are lively. The whole creative process is, even on the level of common sense, one could understand, where is the source of creativity in everyone? Somewhere from which field the thought rises, the desire springs. I want this, now I want this, and now I want this, and this, and this. The emergence of thought, is certainly in the depth of quietness. It's from that quiet level of intelligence or consciousness that the Ichcha arises, Ichcha Shakti, and that the desire springs. So the sprouting of a desire has its source in pure intelligence, which is silence within its nature and has the capability of moving within itself and emerging as a desire. All desires spring from that level of pure knowingness, pure knowledge, transcendental consciousness, which is silent but potential dynamism in its own nature. So all desires come out from there. If conscious mind is open to that level from where all the desires come out, then the conscious mind is in absolute alliance with Saraswati, pure knowledge. And this will be the program or a process or mechanics of bringing together all the laws of nature which would make the desire sprout into a thought and thought progress into its fulfillment. Through this regular practice of Transcendental Meditation and through the regular practice of the TMCD program, one gains the ability of performing from that self-referral level of intelligence, performing from that level of Saraswati, and that performance, engaging all the laws of nature necessary to fulfill the performance, makes one's life spontaneously lived in accord with all the laws of nature, and spontaneously fulfilled life results. So in our education, in schools, colleges, universities, whether they are the universities of the ladies or men, doesn't matter, but Saraswati has to be lively in every educated person. And when we talk of men and ladies, It's absolutely vital that the center of life, which is mother at home, center of life of a family, is the mother at home. So mother at home has to be completely lively in the quality of Saraswati, Mahalakshmi. The other day we went deep into the requirement of the mother's consciousness to be lively in terms of Mahalakshmi, and now we have gone through the requirement, the absolute requirement for every mother at home, in order that she is spontaneously capable of harnessing the potential of natural law in order to work out the success of his desire. An all-powerful mother at home, absolutely simple in her awareness, but spontaneously capable of using all the power of Saraswati and Mahalakshmi to fulfill the desire. That means all the laws of nature in her awareness bring fulfillment to her desires, and this is the mother at home when life will be lived in heaven on earth. So all our programs to create universities for the ladies in every part of the world, and also universities for men in every part of the world, is based on this Saraswati-based education, Mahalakshmi-based education, self-based education, unified field of all the natural law-based education. This is primary education, secondary education, higher education. Always higher education is for higher consciousness, and higher consciousness means lively Saraswati, always lively Saraswati. So that any thought that comes, spontaneously comes, supported by all the laws of nature, and moves in the direction of evolution, finding fulfillment without any obstacle or problem in the way. It's a very good time for us that we are designing the ideal education for the ladies, for men, for everyone on earth. And it's through proper education that we can certainly create heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is our target. Proper education is the means to achieve the target. And in this proper education, we have fulfillment as a living reality of daily life of everyone on earth. And all glory to Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.